You're listening to an African Elements top news story for July 7th, 2025. Please visit our website at africanelements.org for more daily news. Bulawayo's enduring spirit from smoke to Shebeens. Bulawayo was once nicknamed Kuntutu Ziatunka in Ndebele, meaning smoke rising. That name captured its identity as a booming industrial powerhouse. Chimneys of steel and brick belched smoke across the skyline day and night. Workers poured into factories from across the region, fueling economic growth. Many of those factories now lie silent and derelict. The daily tide of commuters has dwindled to a fraction of its former scale. Colonial urban planning divided the city along racial lines. European and African residents lived, worked, and socialized in separate zones. After World War II, these divisions became formalized into high-density suburbs. Townships were created to house African laborers under strict segregation policies. The colonial administration viewed African residents as temporary urban dwellers. Officials aimed to maintain social control through pass laws and residence restrictions. In these segregated townships, the municipal beer hall emerged as an institution of control. Beer halls served as regulated spaces for African leisure and colonial revenue. The Bulawayo Town Council held a monopoly on native beer sales. African consumers were barred from European beers until the late 1950s. Home brewing and illicit liquor offenses were harshly punished. The oldest beer hall, Makumalo, was built in the Makokoba Township around 1900. Early drinkers described its atmosphere as oppressive and prison-like. In the 1950s, anthropologist Hugh Ashton promoted beer gardens to detribalize workers. He planned picturesque venues with trees, rocks, game facilities, and food stalls. His aim was to create a controlled yet convivial environment. Advertisements highlighted traditional dancing and cultural events. Despite colonial motives, the beer gardens attracted large crowds. They funded welfare and recreational projects in the townships. The name traditions such as Mamkwananzi and Mandlovu evoked female brewing rituals. But production was fully industrial, with steel tanks, trucks, and mass bottling. Residents chafed at the contradictions of colonial modernity and tradition. Illicit shebeens soon flourished as alternatives to municipal beer gardens. Shebeens became social spaces and symbols of resistance. They offered cheaper and more culturally authentic brews. As independence movements gained strength, beer halls were targets of boycotts. Protesters vandalized colonial institutions to express demands for justice, yet attendance often remained high due to lack of alternatives. Zimbabwe gained independence in 1980, and beer gardens stayed under council control. Townspeople reappropriated municipal beer as symbols of national pride. Ndebele drinkers embraced ngwebu, the royal brew, as a patriotic beverage. Population figures for Bulawayo vary widely, highlighting planning challenges. The 2022 National Census recorded 665,940 residents. The Bulawayo City Council claims the urban area houses nearly 1.2 million people. This discrepancy complicates service delivery and infrastructure planning. From the late 1990s, deindustrialization emptied factories and unemployment rose. Skilled and unskilled workers migrated to South Africa and other regions. The social rhythm of municipal beer gardens began to shift. Younger generations found alternative venues more attractive. Some politicians began advocating legalization of shebeens. They argued shebeens supported entrepreneurship and urban tradition. Privatization in the 21st century saw beer gardens leased to private operators. Today, a steady trickle of regulars visits these historic venues. They play games, share news, and reflect on Bulawayo's layered past. These spaces embody both colonial contradictions and post-colonial resilience. Bulawayo's journey from smoke rising to modern shebeens showcases enduring community spirit. It demonstrates how cultural identities adapt and survive under changing economic realities. The city's beer gardens stand as living monuments to a complex history. They remind us that spaces of control can become sites of liberation. Bulawayo's enduring spirit inspires new generations to claim their city's future. Copyright African Elements.